Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of ultra-rare mercury dimes, uncovering the stories, history, and staggering value of some of the most sought-after coins in American numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this journey promises insights, excitement, and a closer look at coins that have captured the hearts of collectors worldwide. First up, the 1925 Mercury dime without a mint mark is one of those coins that continues to intrigue collectors because of its place in American numismatic history. Although it was a common issue during the 1920s, surviving examples in collectible condition have become harder to come by. Even in a dirty, well-circulated state, this dime can still capture the imagination of collectors who value not just shiny perfection, but the deeper story that every coin carries. Its role within the Mercury dime series and its rising interest in the collector's market make it a coin worth watching today. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin represents a time in America when the country was rebounding from World War I and entering the prosperity of the Roaring Twenties. The Mercury dime, introduced in 1916, was a bold artistic step forward, and by 1925 it had become a familiar piece in circulation. The absence of a mint mark indicates it was struck in Philadelphia, the primary hub of U.S. coin production. While no single event directly ties to the 1925 issue, it still stands as a representation of a nation experiencing cultural transformation and economic growth, with this coin circulating in the pockets of average Americans during that pivotal period. The obverse, designed by Adolph A. Weinman, features the famed winged Liberty head, often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury. This portrait, with its wings symbolizing freedom of thought, is considered one of the most elegant designs in U.S. coinage. The reverse shows a fasces, an ancient symbol of strength and unity, combined with an olive branch, emphasizing both America's readiness to defend itself and its desire for peace. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, the dime weighs 2.5 grams and measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter. Its small size belies the artistry and symbolism it carries, making it a miniature work of art. Though the 1925 Philadelphia mintage was relatively high compared to other dates, truly collectible examples are far scarcer today. Time, circulation, and natural wear have reduced the number of well-preserved coins, and many surviving dimes are found in heavily worn or even dirty condition. A clean, sharp example is harder to locate, especially in higher grades, which explains why demand has grown steadily among collectors. Even those in lower grades can command respectable prices, as they represent an increasingly elusive piece of the series. In terms of value, the 1925 no-mint Mercury dime can command anywhere between $1,200 and $3,600 depending on grade and market trends. Well-circulated examples typically fetch in the lower range, while coins in uncirculated or near-gem condition can reach the higher tiers. Auction houses occasionally see impressive results when an especially attractive specimen comes under the hammer, and private sales often reflect the same growing appreciation. A dirty coin may not reach the highest prices, but its intrinsic silver content combined with numismatic value keeps it well above common circulation pieces. For collectors, acquiring a 1925 no-mint dime requires careful attention to detail. Certification from trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC provides assurance of authenticity and condition, which is particularly important for higher-value coins. Beginners should study wear patterns on Liberty's wing and the fasces on the reverse, as these areas often show the earliest signs of wear. Proper storage, whether in coin flips, capsules, or albums, helps preserve what remains of the coin's surfaces, ensuring it retains both its aesthetic and financial appeal over time. The appeal of this dime goes beyond its silver content. Collectors are drawn to the elegance of its design, the historical moment it represents, and the tangible connection to America's past. For many, holding such a coin feels like holding a small artifact of the 1920s, a time when jazz filled the air and optimism shaped the national mood. The scarcity of quality examples adds an element of challenge to collecting, which makes owning one all the more rewarding. Ultimately, the 1925 Mercury dime without a mint mark is far more than just another piece of silver change. It is a historical marker, an artistic achievement, and a collectible asset that continues to rise in demand. Whether valued at $1,200 in circulated condition or closer to $3,600 in higher grades, it represents both investment potential and a piece of America's story. For collectors, this coin is a reminder that beauty, history, and rarity often come in the smallest of forms. Next up, the 1931 Mercury dime bearing the Denver D mint mark has developed a reputation among collectors as one of the more challenging dates to acquire from the series. Though not the lowest mintage Mercury dime, its scarcity in collectible grades and its strong connection to the early 1930s coinage scene make it a desirable acquisition. Even when found in a heavily circulated and dirty state, the coin maintains both historical and monetary significance, often sparking interest from hobbyists who recognize its standing within the Mercury dime set. When this dime was struck in Denver, the United States was in the depths of the Great Depression. Coin production had slowed significantly across all mints due to reduced demand and circulation, as the economy was in turmoil and fewer people had money to spend. The 1931 Denver issue reflects this climate, with a noticeably smaller mintage compared to more common years. Produced in Colorado rather than the main Philadelphia facility, it carries added appeal as a regional product of America's Western Mint, reminding collectors of a time when coinage output was shaped by economic crisis rather than routine demand. The design is instantly recognizable as the work of Adolph A. Weinman, one of the most celebrated American coin designers of the early 20th century. On the obverse, Liberty wears a winged cap symbolizing free thought, an image often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury. The reverse balances this with the fasces, a bundle of rods tied around an axe, symbolizing strength and unity, accompanied by an olive branch to reflect the nation's desire for peace. Struck from 90% silver and 10% copper, the dime weighs 2.5 grams and measures just under 18 millimeters in diameter. Despite its small size, it embodies both artistry and national ideals. Rarity plays a large role in the appeal of the 1931 D dime. With a mintage of just over 1.2 million pieces, it is a lower output coin compared to surrounding years. And many of those coins went into circulation where they were heavily worn. High-grade survivors are notably scarce, and even circulated examples can be difficult to locate. Dirty or well-worn pieces, while less visually appealing, are still valued because they represent the history of coins that passed through countless hands during one of America's toughest decades. Values for the 1931 D Mercury dime vary widely depending on condition, but even circulated examples can command $800 or more. Coins with strong detail and moderate wear often sell in the $1,500 to $3,000 range, and those preserved in near uncirculated or mint state condition have been known to surpass $4,200 at auction. The combination of historic importance, relatively low supply, and collector demand keeps prices consistently strong. Market trends have shown steady appreciation as more collectors aim to complete daytime mint sets of Mercury dimes. For collectors looking to add this coin to their holdings, authentication and certification are crucial. Counterfeits and altered mint marks have appeared on the market, so relying on grading services like PCGS or NGC helps ensure authenticity. Collectors should also pay attention to the Denver D mint mark, located on the reverse near the base of the fasces, as its placement and shape can be indicators of legitimacy. Proper storage is essential, especially for coins in higher grades, with airtight holders or slabs helping prevent further tarnish or environmental damage. What continues to draw interest toward the 1931D dime is not just its rarity or value, but the story it tells. Each coin is a physical reminder of a time when American families struggled through financial hardship, yet coins like this circulated daily to keep commerce alive. Collectors often see these pieces as artifacts of resilience, making ownership more than a matter of investment. It becomes a way to preserve a tangible link to the nation's past. In the end, the 1931 Denver Mercury dime stands out as a must-have coin within the series, admired for its design, appreciated for its scarcity, and respected for the history it represents. Even in very dirty condition, it can hold a market value starting around $800 and rising to over $4,200 for top specimens. For new collectors, it provides a fascinating challenge, and for seasoned numismatists, it represents an essential cornerstone in completing a Mercury dime collection. Its balance of artistry, rarity, and historical context ensures it will remain a sought-after coin for generations to come. Next up, the 1941 Mercury dime with the Denver D mint mark stands out as a coin that carries both historical depth and collectible allure. While not the rarest dime in the Mercury series, its connection to a crucial moment in world history, its artistic beauty, and its increasing demand among collectors make it a fascinating piece. Even when encountered in very dirty and heavily circulated condition, this coin remains attractive to numismatists because of the story it tells and the strong prices it commands on today's market. Struck in Denver, Colorado, during the early years of World War II, the 1941 D dime reflects the nation's transition into a wartime economy. Although the United States had not yet entered the conflict, the world's attention was focused on the upheaval in Europe and Asia, and American industries were preparing for possible involvement. Coins minted in this era became part of daily life for families living under the uncertainty of looming war. With a mintage of over 45 million pieces, the 1941 D dime was produced in large numbers, but finding a well-preserved example today remains a challenge due to heavy circulation during the 1940s. The coin's design, crafted by the acclaimed sculptor Adolf A. Weinman, remains one of the most admired in American coinage. On the obverse, Liberty wears a winged cap symbolizing freedom of thought, an image so striking that it was often mistaken for the Roman god Mercury, hence the coin's popular name. The reverse features the fasces, representing unity and strength, intertwined with an olive branch that conveys peace. Struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, the coin weighs 2.5 grams and measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter. Its combination of classical symbolism and practical size has long made it a favorite among collectors. While the 1941 D dime had a relatively high mintage, certain varieties and conditions elevate its rarity. For example, error coins with doubled dies or misaligned mint marks are particularly prized, often selling for far more than regular strikes. Furthermore, coins with sharp strikes, minimal wear, and strong luster are far less common than their circulated counterparts. The Denver Mint produced coins with subtle variations in strike quality, making collectors especially attentive to the details of each specimen. Dirty or well-worn examples may not reveal these details at first glance, but once carefully cleaned and preserved by professionals, they can still prove to be significant finds. In today's market, the 1941 D Mercury dime often trades between $1,000 and $3,800, depending on grade, rarity of variety, and overall eye appeal. Circulated coins at the lower end of the spectrum still command respectable values, while those in near mint or uncirculated condition achieve far higher prices. Auction records show that collectors consistently pursue high-grade examples, and coins certified by leading grading services often attract competitive bidding. The demand is supported not only by Mercury dime specialists, but also by investors seeking tangible assets in silver with strong historical associations. For collectors hopping to add a 1941D dime to their collection, careful evaluation is essential. Authentication by services like PCGS or NGC adds value and security, especially given the risk of altered mint marks. Examining the wing details on Liberty's cap and the fasces on the reverse can help determine how much wear a coin has endured, and these are the key areas grading companies scrutinize. Proper storage is equally important, as silver coins are prone to tarnishing if left unprotected. Coin capsules or archival quality holders are recommended to preserve their surfaces. This coin also holds special appeal because of its timing. It circulated at a moment when the United States was about to step onto the world stage in a defining conflict, making it more than just pocket change. It was a witness to history. Collectors often appreciate the 1941D dime not just for its silver content or artistry, but for its role in everyday life during an era when the future of the world was uncertain. Owning one is like holding a small artifact that connects us to the resilience and determination of a generation. Ultimately, the 1941 Denver Mercury dime represents a balance of accessibility and rarity that keeps collectors coming back, even in dirty condition. It may fetch around $1,000, while better preserved examples can climb close to $3,800 or higher. Its beauty, symbolism, and historical context make it a desirable coin for both beginning collectors and advanced numismatists. As part of the larger Mercury dime series, it remains a cornerstone piece, embodying the artistry of early 20th century coinage and the legacy of a nation on the brink of global transformation. Next up, the 1943 Mercury dime with the San Francisco S. mint mark is a fascinating piece for collectors, standing out in the series for both its historical significance and its scarcity in high-grade conditions. Even in very dirty or heavily circulated states, this coin remains highly sought after because it captures a moment in U.S. history when the nation was fully mobilized for World War II. Collectors are drawn not only to its silver content, but also to its artistic merit and the story it tells about life in 1943. Struck at the San Francisco Mint during the height of World War II, the 1943 S Mercury dime reflects a period of intense industrial activity and national unity. Coin production had to balance everyday economic needs with wartime priorities, making certain mintages lower than in pre-war years. The San Francisco Mint, responsible for many key wartime issues, produced this dime with care, despite the pressures of the time. Each coin represents a small fragment of daily life in the United States, circulating alongside war bonds, ration stamps, and other home-front artifacts. Adolph A. Weinman's classic design remains the coin's most celebrated feature. The obverse shows Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought, a design so iconic that the coin earned its Mercury nickname. The reverse features a fasces with an olive branch, blending the ideas of strength and peace. Made of 90% silver and 10% copper, the coin weighs 2.5 grams and measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter. Despite being small, the dime conveys a rich symbolic message, and its elegant relief design is particularly striking when preserved in cleaner conditions. Rarity is an essential factor in the 1943 S Mercury dime's appeal. Although the mintage was over 18 million coins, surviving examples in collectible condition, especially uncirculated or near uncirculated, are relatively scarce. Dirty or heavily worn coins may not display the full artistry of Weinman's design, yet they still offer historical authenticity that appeals to collectors. Additionally, any error coins or unusual strike variations from the San Francisco Mint add an extra layer of rarity and interest, making even circulated examples valuable for completionists and specialists. The market value of the 1943 S Mercury dime varies depending on condition and desirability. Very worn examples often sell around $900, while mid-grade coins with some original detail can range from $1,600 to $2,800. High-grade specimens, particularly those with excellent strike quality or minimal wear, can reach upwards of $4,000. Auction records and private sales indicate a stable demand, reflecting both collector enthusiasm for Mercury dimes and the broader appeal of wartime silver coinage. For collectors seeking this dime, certification is strongly recommended. Services such as PCGS and NGC provide authentication and grading that protect against altered or counterfeit coins, particularly given the frequency of modified mint marks in Mercury dime collecting. When examining coins, attention to the detail on Liberty's wings and the fasces is critical, as these areas show wear first. Storage in airtight holders or coin slabs is crucial to preserve the coin's surfaces, especially for those planning to keep them long-term or show them in exhibitions. The appeal of the 1943 S Mercury dime extends beyond its intrinsic silver value. It is a tangible connection to a time when Americans were united by the war effort, and every coin passing through hands carried a story of resilience and adaptation. Even in very dirty condition, collectors appreciate the coin's role in history, the artistry of its design, and the challenge it presents in finding higher-grade examples. Each coin serves as a miniature artifact, evoking the everyday life of the 1940s. Ultimately, the 1943 S Mercury dime is an essential piece for collectors of American coinage, combining historical significance, rarity, and artistic beauty. Even in worn or dirty states, it can hold value starting around $900, with better preserved examples reaching up to $4,000 or more. Its combination of history, design, and collectability ensures that it will remain a desirable coin for both new enthusiasts and seasoned numismatists, offering a blend of investment potential and tangible heritage that few coins can match.